Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we have got the next race in the Chasing Tour series, so we're doing the Tour of Flanders Zwift edition. This was filmed on a Sunday morning, so an absolutely brutal course to do first thing on a Sunday. This is the Cobbled climbs course in Richmond. And I have actually done this course once before in a race in the Zwift Racing League a couple of seasons ago, but oh my goodness, what a bumpy course. I know I was saying in my last video that the Three Little Sisters course was the most difficult. Well, this, to follow it up, was absolutely brutal. So basically what you've got is three sort of quick punchy climbs in a row. Insert names of climbs here, but they are very, very punchy. This is, of course, is basically a puncher's dream, and we all know how good I am at that. Not very good at all. So here we are, we're going up the first little climb here, and as it was an all category start, the stronger riders, the A's and the B's, go off the front here. And yeah, I'm just looking to find myself a little group to sit in, to try and do my best, and obviously to finish up as high as I possibly can. But yeah, my strategy was obviously finding that group, but making sure that I got a nice little bit of rest in between those three climbs. And I was actually racing with a chap called Phil Cox, who know from obviously this channel and through Zwifting. Phil, such a lovely guy, and actually he'd been off the bike for 3 weeks before this video, so we had a little game plan beforehand to try and stick together. And yeah, at the start here we're kind of separated a little bit, but I always do this. Well, at the moment I'm picking a group that's really too good for my ability, and at this point I wasn't feeling great, so I wasn't really able to put down the power as I would have wanted. And after the first lap, I'm just kind of just doing my best here to get some recovery, because I know what's coming up again. I'm feeling at this point that I'm not going to be able to keep this effort up for the rest of the race. And yeah, my best position so far in the Chasing Tour series is actually 8th. And I've been finishing around about there in Category C. So 8th, I think I've done a 9th, a 10th. I think I finished 13th as well, or 12th maybe. So yeah, here we are up this the first climb of the three, and I'm just getting dropped at this point. Now what I was doing is I was kind of measuring my effort up that climb, getting a bit of rest down this one, and then really punching hard up this climb here. And I was managing to sort of get back on, but what I think I did in reflection was actually, I don't know, probably go too hard on that bit, because then by the time we got to the third climb, which wasn't as steep, but it's a bit longer, I had no energy at all. And yeah, I was falling back half an hour into this race. And I don't know if any of you get this, but halfway through now during this race, I really just wanted to give it up. I was like, oh, I'm not going to do very well. Maybe I'll try one later on. But actually, I knew that I had to push through it, and I really wanted to finish it as well, because I'd already made, quite a significant effort. Now, Phil has actually managed to catch up at this point in the group that he was in, and this is now the group that I stay with until the finish. So I was quite happy with this group, and actually the pace did settle down towards the kind of latter laps of this race. But I knew obviously the last lap would probably kick off again. So I did have to keep that in view and just make sure I was saving a little bit of energy for that point. But I just want to say that actually, like, during this race, I had some nice messages from everyone, and actually it's such an amazing community, Zwift. I actually love talking to people, and like even during the races, it was really good to, during this race, it was really good to chat to people, and just having Phil there as well in the background, that we were having a little talk about tactics. It was just absolutely superb. I absolutely love it. And it's one of my favourite things about Zwift is the community element. Not everyone gets it, and actually I am a bit of an introvert, to be honest with you. But I don't know, on this platform I just love it. We're all doing the same thing. We're all on our bikes at home on a trainer, and yeah, it's thoroughly enjoyable. So yeah, thanks for all of those once again that like and subscribe to the channel, and that comment as well. I really appreciate every single one of you. And yeah, it's great doing this. I do it for fun. I do it for the love of cycling indoors, and yeah, it's just great. Anyway, enough before I start getting emotional. We are coming through now to the second, well, we're on the second to last lap, and I'm just really hoping at this point that this kind of sprint up these last 3 climbs isn't too difficult. We seem to have quite a good gap behind us, so we're not really threatened by anyone coming up and kind of overtaking us, and we haven't really got anything to aim at the front, or so I thought. I'll come on to that in just a second. So here we go up this climb. Phil's still there, so doing a great job. Got a couple of other C's that are just kind of going away here. Actually, there's a D there as well, so good effort from that person. And this climb was, well, this one in particular was probably that's probably the hardest for me, I would say. That's all my least favourite, because you haven't got much recovery time until obviously this punchy one here. I did slow down a little bit on this one. I kind of changed my tactics because, as I say, it wasn't really working. Felt like sprinting up that one, but I was able to get a bit of recovery here. There's not too many of these races left now, so I did say that I wanted to do all of them / most of them, and that is definitely going to be the case. I think there's another one next Sunday, which is it's in Paris, Luctus Express, I think it is. So it's a much different parkour to this one. It's very flat. I think there's one very tiny incline in that course. So yeah, looking forward to that one as well. I need to get on and do some serious training this week, because I've definitely lost some fitness. I was not as good in this race as I was when I did it back in the Zwift Racing League, but that's okay. I'm not, I'm not going to be at peak fitness all the time, and actually part of becoming fitter is the journey, of doing that. So I will be putting in a bit of zone 2, bit of threshold effort this week. Okay, so final 3 little climbs here, and I'm just preparing myself mentally for what is going to be a very difficult last 3 miles. And I said to Phil actually that I was going to try and make a break from it on this hill, because we've got a couple of good sprinters in the group. So luckily someone went off there, so all I've got to do is just try and chase that down, which I do, and hope that no one sticks on my wheel. So I'm getting a little bit of a gap here from a couple that are behind that I really want to finish. I mean, I want to finish as high up as I possibly could. So yeah, I'm just coming back on this kind of steeper bit here, and then I did like to get a bit of a recovery, but I was able just to latch onto the back of these 2, which was really good for me actually. And I know that there's now 2 left, and I've got a little bit of a gap behind. Got about a 4 second gap behind. So punched my way up this one, which was good, and now still holding kind of steady, but I've managed to increase the gap to one of the other C's back to 9 seconds. But I know that this is going to really kind of, well, they're obviously going to make a huge effort up this last one. So here we go. I'm not too worried about the person in front. There is an additional C in front of me that's just about to come into view, and I just really want to do my best to try and finish up as high as possible. So this person in front is now 1 second. I've really not got long until the end of this race, but I really can see an extra position here. So I just do my best to put a little bit of a sprint down there, and I just managed to come across the line in front, which is I was very happy with. So as you can see, I put the results up on the screen here. So 14th for me, which is not a terrible result, to be honest with you. It's not my favourite course, as I've discussed in great detail, but happy with 14th. In terms of the power, it was okay. It definitely isn't my best power that I've ever put out, but I guess that is the nature of the course, being very punchy. But this was a really fun one to race, and I'm already looking forward to next week's hopefully calmer race. Anyway, thanks for watching everyone. I'll see you on the next one.